Hey guys, Jackdaw here. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. I hope you all are having the most wonderful time of the year. As my last video for 2019, I figured we should have a reflection on Dragon Age 4's major news updates and uncover what we know about Dragon Age 4 throughout this year and beyond, so we can go into 2020 with the right expectations and understanding of the game's current development. I also feel that there have been plenty of huge news stories that have gone under the radar or there has been an update to, so I would like to bring those stories back to the surface for a deep delve once more. Throughout 2019, honestly it felt like we had a Dragon Age 4 news update at least once every month. Even with the game still being a few years away, we've had plenty to talk about, and as a Dragon Age news content creator, I've had a great year of, well, content. For this video, we're delving into the major news updates. At this stage in development, whenever we've heard something from BioWare regarding Dragon Age 4, it's never really been a small news story, it's always been something quite chunky. But there have been a few occasions like non-related stories, developer tweets at the time, book and comic announcements, and a rare small case of smaller BioWare updates that I'll pass in this video only because I'm solely focusing on Dragon Age 4's news updates here, and everything we know so far about that game, which is quite a lot. This is a huge video and it's already over 5,000 words, so there's plenty of news here. I'm not dropping any story related to Dragon Age 4's development, I can assure you of that. And I do have an entire playlist of every single BioWare news update linked down below for your entertainment. Of course, for this video, all of my sources are linked in the description down below, as well as a few timestamps for each individual story. But without further ado guys, brew yourself some Yorkshire tea, get some digestive biscuits, and let's take it away with what we know about Dragon Age 4 so far. The Dreadwolf rises. To boot off this year, we had the most exciting announcement from the Game Awards in December, the official confirmation of the next Dragon Age project, with the current given title, hashtag The Dreadwolf Rises. The trailer, while rather enigmatic, showcased the next Dragon Age centering on Solas's plan to rise up and destroy the Veil, fulfilling the Dreadwolf's prophecy. At least, that's one interpretation of it. The trailer seemingly was made for the fanbase of Dragon Age with the given title, because if you didn't know what Dragon Age was, or say you only played Inquisition's base game and you didn't play Trespasser, you could totally pass up that trailer as a completely different game entirely. So the teaser was more of an ode to the fans that the next Dragon Age game is in the works, and that we can all bet our asses what the main narrative is going to focus on. Alongside the release of this trailer, the Dragon Age website was also updated for The Dreadwolf Rises, with Mark Darrah, the executive producer, and Matthew Goldblum, the new creative director, sharing a few words on the production of the next Dragon Age. As a TLDR, because we don't have time to read all of this, Mark is excited to show more, and by gum he will with all of his amazing teasers. And Matthew states that this is the strongest team yet and they're venturing forth on the most epic quest ever. And once more relating to the Dreadwolf Rises, in a September blog post, Casey Hudson, the general manager at BioWare, wrote that I can confirm that indeed the Dreadwolf rises, alluding to the narrative and production of Dragon Age 4. But before we delve into the current development cycle of Dragon Age 4, we've got to first talk about the two initial iterations of Dragon Age 4. Project Joplin. Based on Jason Schreier's expose into the past and present developments of Dragon Age 4, the previous iteration was known as Joplin, like Janis Joplin. Janis Joplin was one of the biggest female rock stars of her era. She revolutionized her genre of music for the next generation. Clearly, this is something that the developers were going for with the original Dragon Age 4 project, to revolutionize the role-playing game genre. The developers on Joplin were committed to avoiding the mistakes they'd made on Dragon Age Inquisition. Veteran Mike Laidlaw was the creative director of Joplin until the project was canned and reworked so live service elements could be added. After the decided rework of Dragon Age 4, Mike left the studio in late 2017. Project Joplin's initial concept followed the next protagonist playing as a group of spies in Tevinter. A large chunk of the narrative centered on heists. The goal was to focus as much as possible on choice and consequence. There was an emphasis on this hugely reactive game. Smaller in scope than Dragon Age Inquisition, but larger in player choice, followers, reactivity, and depth. The developers talked about building systemic narrative mechanics, allowing the player to perform actions like persuading or extorting guards without the writers having to handcraft every single scene. It was very ambitious, and plenty of the developers were excited, stating that they put some of their best work into this project. However, at the time, Anthem was in real trouble, and there was concern that it may never get finished unless the studio did something drastic. EA and BioWare took that drastic action, cancelling Joplin and moving the bulk of its staff, including executive producer Mark Darrah, onto Anthem. Project Joplin was reworked into Project Morrison, with a skeleton team building the very foundations of the next Dragon Age. Project Morrison. The latest iteration of Dragon Age 4 that is currently in the works is known as Morrison, very much like James Morrison, the lead singer of the rock band The Doors. Jim Morrison is regarded by music critics and fans as one of the most iconic and influential frontmen in rock history. So we can assume that Morrison is now aiming for that goal, to be iconic and influential among other RPGs. Now, Morrison is being built on Anthem's tools and codebase of the Frostbite engine. This will save so much time, as Mass Effect Andromeda, Dragon Age Inquisition, and Anthem were each built from scratch on the Frostbite. With a preset already there, Morrison's development can save a lot of time. This new version of the 4th Dragon Age is planned with a live service component built for long-term gameplay and revenue. However, it's not clear how much of Joplin's vision will shape Morrison. Matt Goldman, the art director on Dragon Age Inquisition and then Joplin, has now taken over as the creative director for Morrison. So it's safe to say that the creative vision is in good hands. Many of the BioWare developers currently working on Morrison know it's going to change like 5 times in the next 2 years. Morrison will shift development multiple times. However, Dragon Age games shift more than any other games. So it's not uncanny for a Dragon Age project to undergo drastic changes in development. Live service / multiplayer. So it has of course been confirmed on LinkedIn that BioWare have hired a software engineer to work on a multiplayer component for Dragon Age 4. However, it is very unsure what exactly this multiplayer could look like. Jason Schreier stated that he heard some ideas for Morrison's multiplayer that included companions that can be controlled by multiple players via a drop-in, drop-out co-op system, very similar to old-school BioWare RPGs like Baldur's Gate, and quests that could be based upon not just one player's decision but on the choices of players across the globe. In 2018, when Joplin's initial idea was released to the world, Casey Hudson tweeted a statement on live service, reading lots of feedback regarding Dragon Age, and I think you'll be relieved to see what the team is working on. Story and character focused, too early to talk details, but when we talk about live, it just means designing a game for continued storytelling after the main story. So it's still rather unclear how much of this game will focus on live service elements and multiplayer. It could follow something as simple as Dragon Age Inquisition's separate multiplayer mode, or it could transform the game completely. Take note that Morrison is still early in the works and it will change multiple times until release. That is for sure. Production. Okay, so now we get to the tea, the past and present developments of Dragon Age 4's new iteration. So as a quick recap, Project Joplin was canned in late 2017, with Project Morrison rebooting sometime after that with an essential small team. The rest of the Dragon Age team that originally worked on Joplin went to fix Anthem during its troubled development. Even Mark Darrah, the executive producer of Dragon Age, was shuffled to Anthem's production. All the while, Morrison lay low in its very early stages of pre-production. I wouldn't even call it pre-production, I would call it a skeleton team working on the crucials of this game. In 2018, the majority of the news we got on Dragon Age 4 came out in January, with Joplin's initial codename and Anthem's team reshuffled. However, with Morrison in deep pre-production, nothing substantial production-wise was heard on this project until the Dreadwolf Rises teaser launched at the Game Awards 11 months later in December. And of course, this trailer was hype. Everything that we needed from a Dragon Age teaser. In early 2019, BioWare resumed their tight focus on Anthem and its release date. After Anthem was released in 2019, according to comicbook.com, the core Edmonton team working on Anthem then returned to work on Dragon Age 4 in full-scale development following the reworks of Morrison. Built on Anthem's codebase and its presets of the Frostbite engine following a very enigmatic live service model, Dragon Age 4 entered its very early stages of pre-production with a full team hands on the deck, as Casey Hudson later confirmed in September in a quick blog post. Now, basic key processes during the pre-production stages include concept art, storyboarding, level design, and mechanic design. Key stages that we can actually prove are in the works for Dragon Age 4. Now, around June, an IGN Greece article resurfaced again. According to said article, an anonymous BioWare employee had given clues to Dragon Age 4, stating that the game will be releasing in 2020 and that the voices of the characters are already being recorded, which indicates an advanced stage of development. Now, the article initially launched in 2018 and it had to be translated to English. It has many rebuttals, the first being the release date. This 2020 expected release date has been debunked because, according to EA's very recent 2019 earnings call, the new release window for Dragon Age 4 is at least April 2022, and any time after that. Perhaps Project Joplin's initial release window was 2020 and the developer may have shared that, but as far as Morrison is concerned, that project is at a minimum 3 years away. However, voice work being in the works could be plausible at this stage. We have many teasers indicating that. Alex Wilton Regan has teased a few sessions of her in full mocap mentioning NDAs and hashtag Dragon Age and hashtag Inquisitor. This could be Alex teasing us, or she could be using social media to its full advantage, or it could be something Dragon Age related. Not to mention, surely the Inquisitor will make somewhat of a cameo appearance in Dragon Age 4, and that could justify why Alex could be doing voiceover. On top of both Alex's tease and IGN Greece's article, very recently Joe Berry, a writer at BioWare, tweeted about voiceover work coming in and it being fantastic. However, they now have to remove the goofy robot text to speech, which is awkward and very funny to listen to. So indeed, voice work does seem to be going on for Dragon Age 4's current development at this stage, which would place it further in development than we initially anticipated. I wouldn't have thought that voice work would have been done in pre-production stages, but I'm not 100% sure on that. In jest, BioWare haven't replied to my request for voice acting a character in Dragon Age 4, so I think because of that we can assume that they definitely haven't started the majority of the main character's voice work just yet, right? Right. Moving on, throughout the months of August and September, BioWare moved to a new office space in downtown Edmonton, and once they had settled in, a few very interesting Dragon Age 4 tidbits came to light. The wonderful Emily Domino Taylor posted this picture on Twitter showcasing a post art board for Dragon Age 4. As we can assume, it's Dragon Age, there's a Grey Warden and there's a Griffin friend showcased in this picture. Griffins and Grey Wardens potentially confirmed for Dragon Age 4. I wouldn't say that's too much of a stretch considering the drama at Weishaupt and Last Flight's ending. But alas, as we can see, BioWare's art division are getting ready to line up concept artwork for further production and development, probably for 3D model creation and animation stages. Regardless, it's very exciting to see the start of official artwork developing for Dragon Age 4. I'll certainly be keeping my eyes out to see how far this board develops further if we ever get a glimpse of that. Now, another huge tidbit which was revealed with BioWare's office move was when the mayor of Edmonton decided to visit and congratulate BioWare at their new office space. On one of the photos the mayor and his team took, there was a shot of a HD version of Solas on a TV screen. Now, this is more speculation, but I do personally believe that this is a shot of Dragon Age 4, or the prototype version of Morrison showcasing Solas. There's been no confirmation of where this shot comes from, and I've spent an entire video dissecting it. However, my point is, I don't think this comes from Dragon Age Inquisition. I've spent so much copious amounts of time online looking for a rebuttal to this, but alas, no one has came up with one. I don't think this comes from Dragon Age Inquisition. It looks way too HD to even be cut content from the game. Look at his face, look at the nose, look at the detail and the fur in his outfit, look at the outside environment. It's very distinct, and I do believe it's the first shot of Dragon Age 4 revealed. Either unintentionally or not, I believe this is a shot of Solas for Dragon Age 4. Prototype or official concepts, probably a prototype just showcasing the aesthetic that Dragon Age 4 could potentially have. Again, no rebuttal has came to this. If you do have any, let me know, but it's the end of 2019 and this still remains to be a mystery. Around the same time, Matt Rhodes, an art director, posted a short story on his Instagram stating that he's more excited working on Dragon Age 4 than any other project so far. And just after BioWare moved offices, Fernando Melo, a senior producer on the Dreadwolf Rises, left the studio after 12 years. As stated on his LinkedIn profile, a lot of Fernando's job on Dragon Age 4 surrounded helping establish the vision for the game, guiding the team through EA's concept and early production phases, and proving out the core concept and key innovations of the game. He signed off with an email sent to everyone on the Dragon Age team stating that he left at the least disruptive timing as it would likely get. Considering that Fernando's job was ensuring that the pre-production and early stages of development were completed effectively, and with his departure being at a time where it would be least hectic for the development of Dragon Age 4, I feel like it would be safe to say that the pre-production process are certainly wrapping up and that the team can begin to enter full production. Fernando said that with a great game leadership team in place, a fantastic creative vision, and some of the best devs in the world, Morrison is well underway to becoming the definitive Dragon Age experience, and I'm incredibly proud and honoured to have played a part in that. I'll be eagerly awaiting the opportunity to experience the next Dragon Age as a fan this time around. So with Fernando's send-off via email, the entire Dragon Age team has seemingly moved on from their initial pre-production stages to the main development of the project, with an estimate release window of any time after April 2022. Mark Darrah, major hints and teasers. So that was only a tiny bit of the tea spill. Now we get to the most diversive news topics, the teasers from the executive producer himself, Mark Darrah. And boy, do we have a lot of teasers. Mark has actually been teasing us since the very beginning of 2017, when he dropped a video of an art book that collated a plethora of Dragon Age concept characters, with many mysterious and ominous photos showcasing potential concept art and character design. A logo of a wolf on fire encased in a tower was all we had on Dragon Age 4 at the time. However, considering Project Joplin was canned at the end of the same year of that reveal, I think it's safe to assume that this work went alongside that project. Whether it will remain, we'll uncover in time. That tease still remains to be quite an enigma. Pushing along at E3 2018, in a video interview with Game Informer, Mark Darrah said that Dragon Age 4 was going swell, with a cheeky grin.
It's going swell.
Swell could be an acronym, or it could just mean that the game is doing superb. As we know, at this point in development, Project Morrison will have been in very, very early stages. And at PAX West 2018, literally 2 months later, Dragon Age 4 was again officially confirmed since its reboot in development. The Triforce Quartet played Dragon Age Inquisition's main theme, as Mark Darrah confirmed that the next installment is in the works again. And taking a large skip here, towards the end of November 2019, Mark Darrah teased the entirety of Twitter with his Dragon Age remarks. Having tweeted the single word Dragon Age, he had PC Gamer and many other Onion articles writing up on his huge Dragon Age 4 tease. To be fair to those articles, Mark did drop an image that resembles Dragon Age, only we've never seen anything quite like this before. Midnight snow, rocks, forests, a completely different landscape to any of the maps in Dragon Age Inquisition, yet very familiar with its Frostbite engine aesthetic. Is this a shot of Tevinter? More than likely taken on Mark Darrah's phone? Well, I do think so. It doesn't resemble any location I can recall in Dragon Age Inquisition, and I do spend a lot of time in Inquisition using the fly mod getting captures for my videos. But you might say, there's snow in Tevinter, which is the opposite end of Thedas. That doesn't make sense considering the equator. Where's the lore there, Jackdaw? Well, Mark Darrah did reply to someone questioning if and why there would be snow in Tevinter, and he sent them a link to an article that explains how there can be snow on the equator, meaning that Tevinter could easily have snow. It could be towards the bottom end of Tevinter, more closely to Ferelden and Orlais, but there can easily be snow anywhere in the Imperium. So is this our second or first look on Dragon Age 4, depending on if you think the solar shot is viable? I'd say definitely, but I'll let you make your own mind up on that. It's certainly beautiful to see, and if this is what we are going to experience in Dragon Age 4, then call me hype right now, because I am already in love with the kind of midnight snow aesthetic. Take me to Tevinter right now. But speaking of Tevinter, Mark Darrah also teased that the working plot title of Dragon Age 4 is titled Tevinter of Our Discontent, which is a huge story reference that I will touch upon in a separate category. But that very tease holds so much weight for the future narrative of Dragon Age 4 that I'm surprised no one else has picked up upon it, because the amount of things things we can go into just based on that title is humongous. Back to the picture teases, Darrah also posted this photo, which is a sun blinding a night. It's very ominous and I don't even know where to start with this one. I mean, it could have some subliminal message about how Solas may destroy the Veil, or very much like Tevinter of our Discontent, it could have some rather ambiguous, obscure context that fits to Dragon Age 4's narrative, but I honestly just don't even know where to start with this one. So if you have any ideas, again, commenting about that down below, but it's a knight being blinded by a sun with another knight reflecting the ray of sunlight. That's really it for me. And on Dragon Age Day, of course, the day to celebrate what Dragon Age means to us, Darrah posted another screenshot of Dragon Age 4 with everything redacted other than a pixel in the corner. And, yep, that's super. So, thanks for that, Mark. Tells us so much about this game and its development. Moving on to story. The next narrative surrounds what we can come to expect of the Dreadwolf rising and attempting to destroy the Veil. It will most likely be our next protagonist's goal to stop Solas from achieving that. We're going to certainly be dealing with a lot of elven shenanigans, and we'll be having a new protagonist Fallout, like every other Dragon Age game. It has been confirmed copious amount of times by many developers, old and new, that the hero of Ferelden will never ever return in the future, so you should stop asking, and even if they did return, Patrick Weeks is in charge now, so you should expect nothing less than the hero of Ferelden to be dead if they ever did make a cameo appearance. Now, Dragon Age 4 will be set in Tevinter Imperium. If Trespass's ending wasn't a good enough indicator for you, or you simply didn't play it, well, Project Joplin was also set in Tevinter. Alternatively, according to PC Gamer, it was the newly announced Tevinter Knights book that confirmed Tevinter to be Dragon Age 4's main setting. Well done, PC Gamer, for that very much investigative journalism. But alas, Darrah also confirmed and teased on Twitter that the working plot title of Dragon Age 4 is Tevinter of our Discontent. This is derived from Shakespeare's Winter of our Discontent, which is the opening line from the play Richard III. Now, as a TLDR, I did a massive video on this. The words basically lay the groundwork for the portrayal of Richard, who is a discontented man, unhappy in a world that basically hates him. However, since his royal family were victorious in the War of Roses, they reign the nation once more, and as winter dies, a glorious summer is upon them. And there are plenty of references we can make to Solas and his scheme to destroy the Veil, of course. He's woken up to a world that despises his very name, and a people that revoke his actions as evil. He wants to correct this world and restore his family, so to speak. Perhaps just like Richard III, Solas's glorious summer is what awaits him in the next game. So we have plenty of plot potential with this given title, and I do have a separate video for even more thorough speculation on this topic. However, based on Shakespeare's work being the main inspiration for Dragon Age 4's narrative, we should expect tragedy to be one of the key main themes of the plot. And even more so than that, Tevinter of our Discontent is more of a plot title than the Dreadwolf Rises, so that's something that you should also know as well. So as opposed to us assuming that the plot is going to more go in line of the Dreadwolf Rising, we should also consider that the Tevinter of our Discontent is more the focus here. Now, according to Video Gamer, in 2017, Alexis Kennedy was writing freelance for BioWare, working on a whole chunk of lore and backstory for the faction in the game that you would think of if you were to think big ol' goth. You know, if you were interested in death. Now, instantly what comes to my mind is Navarro's Mortalitasi, death mages that are responsible for the mummification process of the dead in Navarro's culture. However, we can spend all day trying to figure out what Alexis has worked on, but we're not even sure of how much of his work actually went into the cancelled Joplin, considering the timing at which he worked on Dragon Age 4. According to his LinkedIn page, he worked freelance at BioWare from February to August 2017. The end of 2017 was the same time Joplin was canned and Mike Laidlaw left the company in October of that year. So there's a huge possibility that all the work Alexis did has been shelved. And even if his work wasn't shelved at that time, given his recent allegations and controversy, he's only been allegated at the time, there's been an update to it that Darrah has confirmed on Twitter that BioWare no longer have a working relationship with him. So his his work seemingly has been scrapped, no matter the case. So I'm glad we can actually get to the bottom of that news story, at least regarding Dragon Age 4 and how they've dealt with Kennedy's work. Now, according to Dark Horse writers, Nunzia developers and Christina Weir, who are creating the comic books, in a comicbook.com interview, they shared the collaboration process between them and the BioWare writers in Edmonton. It's a case of sharing notes on where the narrative is going in terms of Dragon Age 4, and then how the comics can actually reach that point for that narrative. So if you want to see where Dragon Age 4's narrative may go, or what character may turn up in the game, read the comic books because they're pushing the story forward. And speaking on the comic book characters and if they could be in Dragon Age 4, Nunzia developers did once comment on one of my videos stating that the characters, yes, are created with the goal of potentially being in a Dragon Age 4 future, but that's not their aim, that's not the reason they exist to fulfill the narrative in the comics. However, the writers over at Dark Horse would love to see their characters make their way into a future game, but it's not their main focus right now. In a similar fashion, according to Chelsea Foriello, assistant animator at BioWare, it seems we could have a Mabari Warhound companion, or at least NPC in Dragon Age, as she stated on Twitter that she was very much interested in seeing what interactions people would like to see for a dog-like creature in a video game, with the hashtag DragonAge. So perhaps this could be a Mabari Warhound, it could be the amazing Autumn from the comic book characters being put into Dragon Age 4, which is on my wish list, or it could even be a small griffin. The creature part in that tweet, it just makes me think that it could be a small griffin. If it's a Mabari Warhound, then it's just a dog. However, she mentions creature, so it could be a small griffin, which would make more sense. Of course, I'm fanboying over the griffins ever since we had that tease in Last Flight, and that post art board with a picture of the griffin just makes me want griffins so much in the next game. Chelsea also tweeted, got to fire a boat today a few times to reference with the team. Was so cool, felt like Legolas. Hashtag game dev life. So rogues confirmed for Dragon Age 4? I don't know, but it's still pretty exciting to see that they've already been testing things out in the engine. And the biggest news of all, on Dragon Age Day, Arby's expressed their interest in opening a new branch in Thedas. Could we see a new type of cuisine in Tevinter? It's hard to say, other than the fact that John Epler loves Arby's, not Wendy's though, don't mention Wendy's. Could this be the future of Thedas' cuisine? Maker only knows. Weeks' tweets. Adding to the story category, we have plenty of tweets by Patrick Weeks that hints at future elements for Dragon Age 4. Of course, Patrick Weeks is the lead writer for Dragon Age 4 and the creator of Solas. Now, Patrick responded to Autumn Witch when asked on Twitter to pick one character from Dragon Age that has never been a companion or advisor that you would like to see as a companion in DF4. For the sake of this post, Lace Harding is also not available. Patrick said, oh, that's obvious, I'd go with Reed's parenthetical, this is rigged. So, Scout Harding is a Dragon Age 4 companion teased? I freaking hope so. She was at the ending of Trespasser, so it would make very much sense to see Scout in the future. Patrick Weeks posted on Twitter that they just teed up reading a scene. So unless they are cutting up onions while writing, we should expect tears to be shed in Dragon Age 4. If I were to guess, Solas is walking the Dinan Sharal, which means that there is only death on his journey. But we never know, Patrick could have simply worked on an absolutely beautiful romance scene that they spent ages crafting, and for a change wanted to create a really nice happy moment for our next playable character. Who am I kidding? Weeks was asked about non-binary lingo and representation, and if the player would have the option to identify as a male or female in the next Dragon Age. Patrick replied saying, no guarantees, it's something that is very difficult in romance languages we get translated into, but our team is always looking for better ways to let players see themselves in our games. So this is a potential for a character customization and story aspect for Dragon Age. And last but certainly not least, we have this tweet of Patrick Weeks and John Epler talking about one of Trespasser's most enigmatic codexes. And my interpretation of this codex was it to be the Titans, relating to the future plot for Dragon Age 4 with a war between the Titans and the Ancient Elves, and the potential return of the Titans. Whatever it is, it's certainly mysterious and evil. But here's Patrick Weeks and John Epler clearly saying that whoever it is, it may be friendly. But I believe this could link directly to Dragon Age 4's future narrative with the Titans reawakening once more. Other Dragon Age projects. You probably weren't expecting to see this category, but according to EA 2019's earning call, there are plans for not only Dragon Age 4, but other Dragon Age products too. I'd guess this other product could simply be a mobile companion app to coincide with Dragon Age 4's launch, or it could be that rumoured tactics game that we haven't heard about since 2017, or on top of that, I'd guess it could also just be an extension to the Dragon Age Keep, considering the fact that Dragon Age 4 will most likely be a next generation title. They will probably need to reinvent the Keep to suit that, or they might just want to spruce it up. At any rate, I don't think they are working on another completely new Dragon Age game. Of course, we haven't even got the 4th installment, never mind the 5th, but that tactics game could be a possibility again, and that would be nice to see potentially before Dragon Age 4 comes out. Okay, so my expectations. So as I said at the start, 2019 has been a great year for frequent updates on Dragon Age 4's development. We actually have an estimated release window with somewhat of an understanding on how far this game is in production. Of course, there's still a couple of years yet with an expected release window at any point after April 2022. However, that doesn't mean that the news will not be coming anytime soon. Just look at all of the tidbits I've uncovered throughout this entire year. From developer tweets on the side to EA's earnings call, there'll be plenty of Dragon Age 4 news coming. Not to mention that BioWare generally start their marketing phases of their upcoming games 2 years prior to release. So if Dragon Age 4 were to release in 2022, we could actually see something in 2020. I'm not trying to stir up hype, I'm not trying to create a false sense of when we could see something, and there's no way I'm banking on that, but for the doubters out there, we'll easily hear something about this game in 2020. Whether that's a trailer or a tweet trail of news, we'll be sure to get something, and I'll be sure to stay on track of that. Now, I will be changing my news updates in the future, I think. Let me know what you thought of this mighty chunky video. For the time being, I'll keep doing continual updates for smaller news pieces until the game has started its official marketing stages. However, when the game does start that process, I'm thinking about doing these chunky update videos weekly or monthly, depending on the news we get, so I can give you the full scoop and delve into much smaller updates in a rounded up video. I never really see the point in doing a 2-minute video on like 5 tweets. I'd rather do it in a chunkier video when more news is given. And as far as these yearly recap videos go, depending on how much news we get in 2020, I'll probably keep these up too, but we shall see. But finally, wrapping up, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Thank you for joining me this year through all manners of my content. I feel like this year I've finally grasped what my content is, and now that I know that, I can continue to create that content to the best of my ability. So thank you. I've even had a few BioWare employees share their love for watching and discussing my content, and with that, I'm just so humbled to create content for this franchise, and the fact that it's being recognized just inspires me with motivation to create even more content. But anyhow, I'm off to Scotland, the land of haggis and bagpipes for the holidays. If you have anyone saying that there's no news for Dragon Age 4, just gently send them my way and share this video in their DMs. But guys, I wish you the very best, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2020. For all your things Dragon Age, BioWare, Mass Effect, all that jazz, you're already in the right place. Have a fantastic end to 2019. But until 2020, I've been Jackdaw, and I should go.